Today is all about perennials.
We're going to be showing you a few of the varieties that we're planting this season and add some to our west border.
Brand new to us this year, and I think it's coming out next year, is Prairie Princess Vernonia, which is an ironweed. And we are really excited about this because we've been wanting to get ironweed in our garden. Our native ironweed here in New York is very tall. It's gorgeous. We actually have some coming from our friend Greg Green, who you might remember we toured his garden last summer. But this ironweed is compact. It's a dwarf version of ironweed that blooms this beautiful, intense pinky purple.
Yeah, it's like a fuchsia purple hybrid.
And the other thing that's really eye-catching about it is this foliage. Check out this strappy olive green foliage combined with the burgundy stem. That is really stunning. 26 to 30 inches tall, prefers full sun. It's hardy in zones 4 to 9, so very cold hardy.
Nice range.
Yeah, for sure. Blooms in late summer, so I guess these are a little bit early, we'd say.
That's okay. And the place that we have in mind for these is going to be so good.
Yeah, we're pairing them with an early season bloomer, so that's going to work out well. That's one of the things you want to think about when you're designing your beds, is pairing your perennials that bloom at different times. So speaking of, let's get into our early blooming perennial we're pairing it with. Cotton Ball Meadow Rue. Now, you know we love Meadow Rue in this garden. And we have quite a number of varieties, from Lavender Mist to Cotton Candy to Black Stockings. There's like a variety available. But this one is a new introduction. Cotton Ball Meadow Rue, 38 to 42 inches tall.
Not too big.
Not too big, but they have this like beautiful, I don't know, substantial foliage at the base, but then they send out these tall, gorgeous flower stalks, and then you get these poofy, beautiful blooms at the end that the pollinators adore. This is hardy in zones 5 to 8, blooms in late spring, can thrive in full to part sun. So we're going to pair these two together because then we have our early season bloom with our late season bloom, and look at that foliage together.
I love the kind of bright green columbine-esque foliage with the olive strappy.
Beautiful.
So something we already have and something new to us. These are both Luminary series Phlox. This is Backlight, which we have fallen in love with. I'm excited to add this third big clump of it. This is a 28 to 30 inch tall Phlox, bright white, very clear white and very healthy foliage. No mildew problems like other Phlox tend to get. It is a favorite of the rabbits, so we do have it with the black chicken wire cages.
And groundhogs.
And groundhogs. And this, oh my goodness, what was the zones? Oh, 3 to 8, very nice. I think this is one of my absolute favorite Phloxes. And then just slightly taller on the newer side, I believe this might be new for this year, is Pink Lightning. You can see it just came from a greenhouse, so it's got these kind of early flowers. I think we should probably snip these when we plant it to let it reflush.
Yeah, probably.
But this gets a few inches taller. It tops out at 36 inches. But look at how vivid the flowers are supposed to get.
Interesting. Yeah, the photo shows it much more intense pink, but those look like they're kind of faded.
Yeah, they do seem kind of faded, but they were, they were on a truck for a little while. This is going to be really exciting to put another clump in of these. These Phlox are just a showstopper. And then in another new one to us in general, but also on the dry side.
That looks pretty dry. I was going to say as you picked it up.
My goodness, but it is putting out a ton of new growth, and I'm seeing buds already.
Oh, I see foliage color on this one, or bloom color on this one.
Oh, let me grab that one instead. This is called Bells and Whistles. It's a campanula, the bellflower, full sun to part sun, and we're going in zones 3 to 8. It is a 28-inch tall clump, but it's such a interesting bluey violet color. We have the perfect spot for this. I can't wait to get this tucked in and see that color up against another foliage that we adore. Shall I continue?
Sure. Oh, one of your favorites.
One of my favorite plants in the universe. This is Primo Peachberry Ice Heuchera, 8 to 10 tall, but it can get apparently up to 30 inches wide, which we've yet to see when
they don't come. I mean, they definitely come back for us in our garden, but not
They don't
as
come back this
strong.
big.
Yeah, they don't come back looking like that.
But we also have changed up the drip irrigation situation near where we have these planted. So I'm interested to see how big these get this year. I love this foliage. You've got the peachy color, you get that kind of reddy pinky color. The blooms, they're fine. I like the blooms, but this is one of our favorite perennials to add into our garden.
New for 2026, violets are blue delphinium. We do have a little gallon size here that's not blooming yet, but the corked sample that was sent along with it is blooming, and look at that foliage. This is a delphinium. We do have one variety of delphinium in our garden right now, and I have been very anxious to add more. I've really loved this height, this beautiful flower color, the structure of the foliage. I'm really into like the tall, wispy, flowy flower this season.
I think that's one of his favorite textures. And this one is supposed to stay on the medium size and not need to be staked, but we'll be prepared to stake.
30 to 36 inches tall. So that's short for some delphiniums, right?
Yes.
Hardy in zones 3 to 7.
Okay.
Very nice. Blooms early summer, full to part sun. And this is going on the west side of the house. And it's going to kind of create this river of tall, beautiful blue spike flowers next to the Emily Bronte rose, if you remember where that
That's
is.
a perfect cottage blend.
Really excited about that. Going in the ground around our trees behind me, I'm not sure if you can see them. We have a Princeton Century Ginkgo and a paperbark maple with squares cut out underneath them. Going in those squares, we are creating hedges of sweet romance lavender. This lavender is not new to us, not new to the market. It's 12 to 18 inches tall, hardy in zones 5 to 9, blooms early summer into fall, and prefers full sun. We are not putting this on drip irrigation because we get so much rain here in our garden. The lavender usually doesn't thrive, but we've had some success with sweet romance. So we're excited to add more.
And
highly fragrant, nice,
so
compact, beautiful. Shady area stuff, because on our east side, we have some shade that's starting to form underneath our dapple willow that we pollarded into like a tree form there. This is spot on Pulmonaria, 14 to 16 inches tall. It blooms very, very early. Bright pink and blue flowers.
Love that, but then of course, the spots on these leaves.
The foliage is extremely beautiful. Hardy in zones 3 to 9, blooms late spring, part shade to shade. So this brings a bright pop of foliage color into the shade garden, and you get flowers when you have nothing else flowering in the garden in the spring, besides hellebores, of course. And finally, check out this shimmering blue foliage. This is a version of bleeding hearts, if you can believe it or not. This is Dicentra pink diamonds, 12 to 16 inches tall and wide.
And I believe this reblooms quite a bit throughout the
It does,
season.
and what's really cool about it is you can grow it in full sun to part sun, not just shade. And that's really, really nice, because in a newer garden like ours, we don't necessarily have that much shade. So we can add this into places that get a little more part sun. Hardy in zones 3 to 9, blooms late spring to early fall. Christopher was right, it blooms all season long. And we have a great spot to put this. Another plant that'll bring that bright pop of color and really interesting, almost like parsley-like foliage.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like blue parsley with pink flowers. Eric, should we put some plants in the ground?
I would love to. So I just kind of played around a bit with the placement, and we had a couple of different thoughts. We know we wanted these purple flowers of the Vernonia to play off of the orangey peach flowers of the Atlas roses transplanted over there. But we really like the way it'll play with the bright gold of the Glow Pop Japanese holly right there. I think that'll play nicely together. And the roses will rebloom in late summer. So we'll have some flowers there. We'll have some flowers here late summer. This will be early summer, late spring flowers, which will correspond very nicely with the roses as well. So I think this all kind of works out in a nice drift of perennial color. What do you think?
I agree. I think the combination of textures, the olive up against the reminiscent Cremo roses, and then honestly, I think in time, I have a feeling that the Cotton Ball and the Outlast, they're just going to play so nicely together.
I think so too. And so to add a little visual rest with all of this perennial foliage happening, we just kind of threw an extra ornamental rock in there. And I think that's going to ground that space. What do you think about spacing? Okay?
Spacing, I think, is okay. We might pull the one cotton ball forward.
This one right here?
Just so those three are a little clumpier.
Or should I do something like bump that back and bump this a little forward?
I like that better. Because that gives more room. The Atlas roses, when they get cooking, they can get pretty big.
That's true. So something like that?
Something like that is perfect. I think that looks great. And the Vernonia can get quite wide, so we will be very cautious with
Yeah,
those.
the Vernonia is just going to be one giant mass.
Yeah, I love that.
Ideally. I mean, that's what we think is going to happen. So when we get them in the ground, are we going to use our power planter that we've discovered we love so much?
We are going to use the power planter, and I even brought the 5-inch one out. That's the right size for these 1 gallons.
Awesome. And then amending the planting hole?
We're going to use some Rose and Flower Coast of Maine planting soil.
And that's it, right? Drip.
Then I'm going to put some drip through, which we already have quite a bit of drip line run through here, so I can tap into that. But I'm going to jump right over your head. And these are the other 3 perennials we're going to add today. Look at that peachberry ice heuchera in front of the Pugster Blue, behind the Sprinter, and that Blue Moon Saguaro Cypress. Look at that contrast.
I think it's really pretty.
Oh, it's so good. Those we're just going to tuck right in. We're going to use the shovel for those, though.
Oh yeah, because of all this is all new this season, and we are still discovering this layout. And we recently put down drip, and then it promptly got covered with compost, so we don't remember where it is.
Okay, that is a very good point. Should we start with these 3, or would you like me to do these 3 while you dig the others?
Oh, we have to get these in the ground right away. Let's start here.
Okay. I have spread some of the compost away from the base of this pot. My goal now, because the compost has been laid down, the mulch, to keep this as clean as possible, because we don't want to have to rebury
I know, is that
anything.
possible with a power planter?
I'm gonna go really slow, and I still haven't read the directions on how to make it go slower. So everybody wish me luck.
All right.
It does have the E-clutch, by the way, which is something someone had mentioned. I still haven't decided if there's a way to make it go slower. It has Wi-Fi? It has a Wi-Fi. What?
For what?
I don't know. Power tools. So let's just... Okay, wait. This isn't so bad.
The hard part comes when you're planting, making sure to just...
Thankfully, I don't need the hole to be that deep. Let me see.
True. See, I don't know if it's faster if you're trying to avoid a mess. That actually looks pretty good.
That was okay.
All right.
Not too bad. And I shimmied that away. So should I make the other 4 holes for this plant, and then we'll plant them?
Yes. So
Okay.
throw that Vernonia back in that hole. And then...
Perfect hole.
Yes. And then we'll keep a track of our spacing, too. Brush aside the compost, slow and steady.
Drip irrigation running right through here, because I pre-ran lines knowing we would be planting here. Okay. So really, what slows it down is not squeezing as hard.
Well, yeah.
Don't kick, don't kick, don't kick, don't kick, don't kick. It's so grumbly.
Oh, there's some clay happening there. I think that's deep enough. Shake it all off. Keep shaking.
Am I shaking?
Yep, you're good.
I'm shaken, not stirred.
So these Vernonia up front are planted next to a reminiscent crema, which is a very small rose. I'm not worried about it encroaching in its space, but honestly, we love things planted snug. 1, it looks beautiful and full, but 2, it cuts down on weeds because it blocks out
The sunlight.
Get into the soil.
Rocks.
Keep shaking, keep shaking. Shake more,
I'm shaking.
and you're good. Maybe, nope, yes, no, yes, yes.
This is nerve-wracking.
It's okay. This is why we love to get as much planting done as possible before the mulch gets down. But you know what? It's gardening.
That's what it is.
I gotta let it go. I gotta just realize
He is doing very well this year, I must admit, everyone.
these Vernonia look like they're gonna really be excited to get a drink of water.
Mm-hmm.
I think we thought because it's been raining so much, we didn't have to water these in their cans as much as we did, but that is false. I think it's gonna go behind that.
Behind.
Yep. Oh. That's the vibe I'm getting. Behind.
I would love to have a landscape staple right here. Alas, we do not.
How about I hold it for you?
There you go. Just give it a tug.
Hang on, peoples.
Oh, look at your nice garden glove.
I know, well, I treated him. I don't trust that. Nope. Bad idea. You're just going to have to go real slow. Maybe press it with your foot.
The soil pushed it.
We do have some more annuals to put in the ground today, too, but we'll get to that later today. Keep shaking. Shake, shake, shake. Keep shake. Shake. There we go. All right. I think it is coming together.
How is the planting hole size for this 1 gallon container?
It's really good. And good news is these root balls are very hardy, ready to go.
That's good. Oh, wow. This is great.
Look at that. So unique. Very unique, I would say. So I'm going to go in and very carefully just get the soil in the hole. I've already added a little scoop of the rose and just for a rose and flower soil amendment, just for fun.
A little organic matter under the soil until this compost we use as mulch makes its way down.
And then after I press down this soil here, then I can take that pushed aside compost and gently put it back around. And see, now you can't really tell.
That, yeah.
It's just all about the
finesse, really.
The finesse of the final planting moment. So all of that looks pretty smooth. Let me make sure I'm not crushing anything with my giant feet back here. Okay. Then I will head this direction and work from the front. Oh, I really like them.
That's a really good plant.
Right?
It's a really good plant.
Really unique. I feel like we have nothing like this in our garden, and we don't see anything like this at the garden center by us.
I feel like the closest thing to this would be something like a house plant that we could never put outside.
Especially in the ground. 26 to 30 inches tall. These are going to be so cool.
Right, and it's the reminiscent are 2.5 feet tall. So that's there. I mean, it won't actually be a huge discrepancy. It's just the fact that there are rows and they're that short. But otherwise, I think that these are going to be a nice pair.
I think so too.
Nice cream color. I bet you the purple flowers bring out that little yellow undertone in the cream rose flowers.
Yes, I really like the crema roses that they have a little yellow undertone to them. I think that's pretty. And they are highly fragrant. I don't smell anything on the ironweed, though. I don't think it's a fragrant flower.
They're so budded up, too.
How am I doing for tidiness factor?
You know, you're doing such a good job for tidiness. And as I've been watching you, Eric, especially considering that this is a prairie plant, it is a native, I think that the location of the drip so far is pretty good considering this area back here. I think we're going to be okay where the drip is.
I agree. And we'll monitor throughout the season. And if we see it suffering, I mean, it might not be perfect right away because, you know, it's not rooted in yet. So
right, but these plants are going to get pretty thick. So they're going to very quickly find the water. And I think that's good for them.
I agree. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I love this foliage contrast with the thalictrum.
And the flowers are both kind of fluffy, but slightly different shapes and, of course, different colors.
Us with a fluffy flower?
Us with a fluffy flower.
Does that sound like us?
Doesn't sound like us at all. Oh, I hear the bird, Eric.
Aaron!
The Eric bird is back.
Aaron!
Okay, so there was a comment saying that they thought it was a chickadee,
I thought chickadees went chickadee-dee-dee.
which I just heard. But I did a little Google search, and I believe mealworm. I've never seen one of these in real life.
Oh yeah, we've definitely got those in
Do
the
we
garden.
squish that, or is that good?
I have no idea.
You're on your own, mealworm.
Good luck surviving this drill.
Gray catbird is what I came up with for that sound. That sounds like a bird is screaming Eric's name.
I'm gonna straddle some roses.
Be careful about that. Living on the edge there.
That's true. I just realized that as I'm doing it.
Last, but certainly not least, I am going to use the shovel for this section because there is tubing for the pondless waterfall in this area. So we're going old school and, you know, shoveling. Got my little can here so I can.
Well, let me grab those tags out of that bottom of that can so you can,
There you go.
out of the bottom of the can in your hand.
Oh, so we.
That way we can just dump it without worrying about plastic.
Lovely.
Oh, I'll be back. I gotta show them this. Look at our iris.
Is purple flame blooming?
It's not open yet, but it's coming.
Isn't it?
Those just happened to be in our garden over there on the berm. Well, we found out we could grow them in the water. That was very exciting. That's gonna be really nice.
I got myself quite in the spot here.
Yes, don't break those stems.
Ugh. Oh, you know what we should have brought out was the little shrub rake for touching up the compost after in these funny spots.
Touching up, does that look like that needs touching up to you guys? I feel like I did it.
Rosenflower.
Rosenflower. Sorry, I was distracted by the Paisley pup dog hobble
Oh my gosh.
at the top here. I'm just watching it transform over the season
It's changed colors
and grown
twice.
so much. All right, back to the task at hand. Easily distractible in this new garden space because it's also new.
That's a t-shirt right there, Eric. Easily distracted by plants.
I think that is a t-shirt actually.
Have you seen this t-shirt?
Yeah. I have. I see all these spots. I want to tuck in some Verbena bonariensis seedlings.
Well, I'm gonna go grab those while you do the trimming on these. How's that?
Yeah.
And tuck some of those in. All right, I'm not gonna fuss too much because you were going to fully fuss on these. I missed. Oh, that looks good with them cleaned up. I'm glad you took the bloom stalks off.
Thanks. So right here is where I would like to put some Verbena bonariensis seedlings.
All right, would you like me to do it or shall I hand them to you?
Oh, you can hand them to me while I'm down here.
So basically, I have a tray of Verbena bonariensis seedlings that I scooped out of the ground, right out of the compost. There we go, look at that. Right there, you've got like 10 plants.
I'm just gonna put this here.
Oh, that's a good spot for them right there.
Yeah.
So all these Verbena bonariensis are seedlings that were scattered around the garden in places where we've previously grown the plant. And there'll be millions of them on the ground, but they're very easy to pull.
And then maybe one more clump right here-ish, right?
And then, as you can see, Eric just tucked it in like so. Ooh, first bumblebee of the season. That's not a flower bumblebee. That's a Kodiak jet black Dervilla.
Well, it's never seen it before. It's
It's
very
never seen it. It's
interested.
brand
It's new
new.
for 2026. It is gonna flower though. It flowers bright yellow, which I think is fine.
Great, I like that you put a couple little spots in there.
And then the other spot I want to put them is over here by the orange dwarf. Do you have any more seedlings to spare?
There you go, save some of those so that just in case we need to place them back up front. we've been using our new 100-foot HoseLink for, has it been like 2 months now?
Oh, I don't think it's been that long. Maybe.
I love it. The quality of the hose is fantastic. It doesn't kink nearly as much. Some of the other extended length retractable hoses, they just kink too much and you didn't feel secure with the
Well, the big
retraction.
difference for me between this one and the previous version we had from a different company is the quality of the nozzle. The other company, I can't remember the name of it, but I had dropped it once and the nozzle just snapped and
I
broke.
remember that. And
This one has rubber around it and it's much
more secure feeling.
Yeah. It's a better quality hose
Water
nozzle.
flow is great too, which of course is very important when you're watering a garden. Get these verbena seedlings done with a light shower so that they don't get washed away. When you put this on the jet setting, it's pretty strong too. I mean, you're not power washing, but you could definitely clean the car.
True. You could rinse some soap. Those were pretty dry, Christopher, so give those a nice
Yeah,
steep.
they're getting a good drink.
Yeah. It's looking so full and luscious right now. I'm really excited. And the sun is out and the summer is starting and it's just such a great time of the year in the garden. We do have our 3 peachberry ice coral bells, which have been freshly watered. So they're a little bit flops right now, but they will perk right back up. Our little verbena bonariensis seedlings in there, but check out this combo. I know I act like I'm favoring this combo, but I'm really happy with it.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it is the, oh my goodness, I already forgot the name. I know it's ironweed.
Prairie Princess Vernonia.
Prairie Princess Vernonia and Cotton Ball Meadow Rue. And I'm so excited to see how these do throughout the season.
Love a perennial. Thank you so much for joining us as we take a look at some of the perennials we're planting this season and get a few of our favorites in the ground.
For more information on our garden, please visit growformegardening.com. Please make sure you click like and subscribe. Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening.
Thanks for growing with us.